Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Tank be chopping, back with another haircut video. All right, check it out, man. What we gonna be doing on this cut is we gonna be doing a low fade. We trimming the top. So as y'all can see, I am going ahead and I'm gonna saturate my client's hair with some water. As you can see, I'm using that spray bottle from Stylecraft, and I'm just combing my client's hair the way he combs it. He kind of combs it, you know, over in the front a little bit, kind of to the front, kind of over, you know. So we did it that way. But as y'all can see now, I'm gonna go ahead and start setting in my initial mohawk guideline coming forward. And I know y'all been seeing a lot of videos of me doing shear cuts. That's what y'all been asking for. So I'm setting in this first guideline coming forward, and then I'm gonna start to set in my guideline coming the opposite way. But everything that's longer than my initial guideline, I'm gonna make sure to cut off, and y'all gonna see that right here in a second. So original guideline is in there, and the hair closest to the back of my fingers, that's the guideline. So everything longer than that, I'm making sure I cut off. As y'all can see, every section of hair, every bit of hair that I comb up, it has that little bit of guideline towards the back of the section, or towards the back of my fingers, and you can see what needs to be cut off. And I'm just gonna continue to do that and work my way over. And as y'all can see, the closer I get towards the sides, I'm angling my fingers more downward, and that's gonna help basically give some graduation from the top to the sides. And then I'm gonna blend that up also, so it doesn't have to be perfect on the sides, but I do wanna take some length off. That way when I fade it, I know that it's gonna fade into the top and leave a nice transition. And now we're gonna be doing the same exact thing to the opposite side, bringing it up section by section, taking off all the hair that's longer than the initial guidelines. And that's why I like to set in the mohawk guideline. I like to set my guideline coming forward, because then regardless if I move right or left, I can see what the hair is doing, right? And as you can see, I'm gonna pull up a section here, and you can still see my guideline, and that's still the same guideline that I initially put in. And I'm just using that to cut down the sides as well, because like I said, you want the sides to be a little shorter, but you still want it to connect to the top. That way when I blend it in, it's not gonna be like certain areas are longer than others. I'm still using that guideline from the original guideline and using that all the way throughout the head. All right, but now that that is done, I'm taking my number 3 guard. I want to say this is my number 3 guard. Don't catch me lying, but I'm pretty sure it's my number 3 guard. Taking the new Stylecraft and 360 GZ clipper, and I'm gonna debulk a little bit, basically setting up the canvas, setting up the shape for my client's haircut. And FYI guys, if y'all want to purchase these clippers, y'all can go to stylecraftus.com. Use my discount code TANK10 on that website. Get yourself a little discount, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we are creating the shape. You want to make sure that you drop it down in the back, especially if you're doing a drop fade or a low fade. And that's what we're going to be doing on this haircut, is a low fade. So I'm making sure I drop it in the back, but I'm still trying to create some shape. That way I know that's the shape that I want for the finished look. And then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Same thing we did to the opposite side, same thing we did to the back. Once again, we are making sure that we drop it down on the back a little bit. And you want this guideline to be really good. Not a guideline, but this initial shape to be pretty good, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, we're gonna go in and blend a lot of this out anyways, but you wanna have just some actual shape in there. That way you know what you're doing. And once we finished that, I moved on. This is my 2 guard lever open and then closed, basically coming right below the initial, I don't want to say guideline, but right below where I debulked previously. So it's the 2 guard open and then closed, basically just blending into that number 3 and into the bulk. Obviously it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be a lot of discrepancies, and that's fine. Once again, I'm just doing somewhat of a rough draft, somewhat of a, you know, just like a rough draft, just like a general outline of where I'm going to be fading at. But now that that is done, we're taking our trimmers. This is the Andis GTX XO with the M-Force blade. We're going to set in our initial bald guideline, going all the way around the client's head, coming above the ear and then dropping it below the occipital bone in the back. And same thing with these guys. If you want to purchase these, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com. Use my discount code TANK10 on that website to save yourself some money on not just these tools, but any tools you see in this video. If you don't want to go to stockcraftus.com, that's fine. You can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use the discount code TANK10 on anything on that website. Tools, products, anything they got on their website, you can use my discount code to get yourself a discount. But going back into this haircut, as you can see, we're doing the same thing to the opposite side. Just setting up that guideline, man. Set everything up. As you can see, we have pretty much a nice shape created. We got it debulked. You know, we're gonna put this thing, we're gonna work this thing out, man. We're gonna make sure my client leaves here with a nice fresh haircut. Once that is done, I'm gonna take my shaver, and we're just taking the shaver up to that bald guideline. The closer we get to that line, same thing we do on every haircut, is use a slight flick out motion and relieve some pressure. Remember guys, you don't want to apply the same amount of pressure at the bottom of this haircut as we are towards the top of this. The closer we get to this guideline, we're going to relieve some pressure, use a slight flick out motion, just so that transition from really bald transitions nicely into the hair. So keep that in mind when y'all doing the razor, guys. You don't want to come all the way up with that razor pressing really hard all the way up to that line. Once that is done, I'm gonna do a little bit of clipper over comb just to debulk some of this length. And I know a lot of people don't like doing clipper over comb. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like doing it a lot either, but here recently, maybe in the past week or two, I've been doing it a lot more. And it's just one of those things you kind of got to get used to doing, right? But once you get used to it, you can kind of do it on any cut and you kind of know how to do it. But now we're going in with our clipper all the way open, and we're going to be setting in our next guideline, and we're going to come up about a finger's width. Remember, we are doing a low fade. We are trying to keep this low, so we don't want to go too high and stretch this blend out too much. If I go higher with my clipper open, we can still fade it in, no problem, but the fade is just gonna get higher and look a little more stretched, and it just may not look like a low fade. So you want to make sure that when you're doing low fades or compressed fades, you don't go too high with that lever open. But once that was done, I adjusted my lever halfway closed, work my way halfway into this section, and then we're gonna adjust our lever all the way closed and start attacking that bottom line in this section. And then we will adjust our lever, you know, open or closed as needed, just to clean up any discrepancies in this section of the haircut. Next step, I am taking my number 1 guard. Once again, lever is open, and I'm creating another section. Once again, coming up about a finger's width, following the same shape, making sure that I drop it down in the back, come up above the ear, you know, same thing I did with my clipper open, and basically same thing I did with the half guard or with my clipper open also. And then once we set in that section, we're gonna close our clipper and start attacking the bottom part of this section, using the corner, being really careful because we don't have a lot of room to work with anymore. But we're still trying to clean it up and make sure that we get that nice blurry effect. And once that is done, I'm going with my half guard, 0 guard, 1/16 guard, whatever you want to call it. I'm going in with it halfway open, and I'm just adjusting my lever however I see fit. Sometimes you may have to open it more, sometimes you may have to close it more, but you just want to, I like to start with it halfway open and then adjust it as needed. Now my next step here, I'm taking my number 2 guard, and I'm trying to debulk a little bit more of this haircut. Obviously, you know, I'm still got some fade work to do, but with the 2 guard open and using that comb to feed the hair in and bringing the clipper out, floating it out as you see me doing there, that's gonna start to transition the hair a little better, and this is gonna leave a good overall look once, you know, at least in my eyes when I'm done with it. So that's why I'm floating the clipper. And now once that is done, I'm gonna close my lever, and I just have, you know, I have a couple dark areas, a couple discrepancies that I'm gonna clean up with my number 2 guard closed. And then once that is done, we can do shear over comb, clipper over comb, blending shear over comb, whatever you wanna do to get that last little piece to look blended, you can do. And that's what I decided to do, was blending shear over comb. And the thing about blending shears is, or thinning shears, whatever you want to call it, it leaves a little room for error. Like, you're not taking off so much hair, you're just taking off, you know, the tips of the hair, and not even every hair is getting cut. So it leaves room for error, and I feel that you can have a nice transition by doing this. Now, I really didn't focus too much towards the back of this section. I was really more focused on the side when I was blending this, because I did the back, you know, later on in the haircut, and I wanted it to tie into the side. So as you can see towards the back of this blend, it really doesn't look blended, but in like the front to the middle, you know, right behind the ear, it looks a little more blended, right? But anyways, moving on, I got my trimmer, the Saber trimmer. Once again, stylecraftus.com, discount code TANK10, but we're using that Saber trimmer to hit up this C cup, making sure that we leave a nice C cup. When I do low fades or drop fades, or when we're preserving the C cup, I like to make sure we got a nice curve in there, and that's what we are doing here with this Saber trimmer. Then I'm gonna go back in, do a little bit of detail work, and then we basically gonna finish off this side of the blend. Now, I didn't record the right side or the back. I had more clients coming in after this, so I just wanted to record a little bit of this haircut for y'all, just to show y'all. But if y'all like this tutorial so far, and if y'all wanna see more tutorials like this, let me know in the comment section so I can continue to do haircuts like this, continue to do these styles of cuts, that way y'all can see these on my channel. But as y'all saw, I was going in with my 1 guard, adjusting my lever as needed. Now here is my 1/2 guard, adjusting my lever as needed, just to get, you know, the bottom part of this blend to look nice and buttery. Now we're gonna go in with our clipper no guard, doing some corner blending, flicking at these lines, adjusting our lever, just doing some detail work to get this part of the blend to look right. And then we're gonna go back in with our 1.5 guard, or we're gonna go in with our 1.5 guard. I don't even think I've used it in this haircut yet. So I'm just using this to clean up some dark areas, adjusting my lever closed, however I see fit, you know, wherever I feel that I need it. And then this is my 2 guard. Open and then close, as y'all can see. But y'all check it out, man. This is basically the finished cut. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbechopping.com. You can book there. But once again, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this cut. You know, yeah, drop some comments down in the comment section. Then I greatly appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go.